An additional tax on violent video games. Will we be seeing a new Pokemon game announced for the Nintendo Switch this week? And a social network for your PlayStation on your web browser, plus a lot more. Let's get into the news. So with the terrible tragedies that occurred in Florida last week, there has been a lot of talk this week as to why we think it happened, how it can be stopped if it were to occur again, and how it can be prevented from happening again in the future. And a lot of finger pointing has gone towards violent video games and violent media like TV shows and movies. Now, Rhode Island has decided to take this a step further and has proposed that there is a 10% tax on all video games that are rated M or higher. This 10% tax will be used to go towards mental health services and counseling for students in schools. Robert Nordilillo III, who is the Republican member of the Rhode Island State House, had this to say: "There is evidence that children exposed to violent video games at a young age tend to act more aggressively than those who are not." Robert Nordilillo III claims that he wants this to be passed, or he's proposing this because he believes that it will keep schools safer. And here's exactly what he had to say on this. "Our goal is to make every school in Rhode Island a safe and calm place for students to learn. By offering children resources to manage their aggression today, we can ensure a more peaceful tomorrow." So after reading this, my initial thoughts were that there's a lot of scapegoating going on here. Violent video games are being used as a scapegoat as to why these things are happening. And I don't see the United States government looking at different things yet, or other reasons or other things that can be done to prevent them from happening. Robert Nordilillo III said that there was evidence linking the aggression of children in these shootings to violent video games, but he didn't point to a specific piece of evidence to support his claim. As far as I know, and I could be wrong, if I am, let me know in the comments below, that there is no evidence showing that violent video games lead to these mass shootings or lead to these terrible events from occurring. From what I know and from what I've been reading, it's that the studies actually prove the contrary. There's absolutely no link between them. So that's why I think there's a lot of scapegoating, because they don't want to focus on those big topics and those hard-hitting topics that could lose them votes in the future. Now, like I said in my previous video, I don't live in the United States, so I don't fully understand the gun problem. But I strongly believe there are many different things that need to be looked at before looking at violent video games as a reason as to why these events keep occurring. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't fully disagree with Nordilillo and wanting to put money towards mental health services and counseling in schools. I think that's a great cause, but I don't think that putting a 10% tax on video games is the way to do it. I think there are many different ways that they can go about doing this, and just investing more resources from other places and more time into these counseling services will help in general. Donald Trump also commented on the situation, and he talked about violent video games being a source to the problem, and here's exactly what he had to say. "We have to do something about maybe what they are seeing and how they are seeing it. I'm hearing more and more people say the level of violence on video games is really shaping young people's thoughts." Now, I don't really read too much into those comments because I think Donald Trump is just kind of pandering to where he will get his votes. So he's saying what people want to hear, obviously. But again, it's just the train of thought that video games lead to mass shootings, to me, is extremely crazy. And I don't think it leads to them whatsoever, in my personal opinion. But I do think that we need to do more to help kids who have these mental health problems so that we can prevent these things from happening in the future. So this Tuesday, February 27th, will be official Pokemon Day, and there will be a celebration going on at the Nintendo store in New York. Now, nobody knows exactly what is going to occur at this celebration and if there will be anything announced or not. But there's speculation and rumors going announced that we may be seeing a new RPG Pokemon game for the Nintendo Switch. Now, nobody actually knows if they will announce it or not, but I really hope they do, because playing a new RPG Pokemon game with updated graphics for the Nintendo Switch on that big portable screen, I think would be awesome. Let me know in the comments below, what do you want to see announced and what do you think they will announce? So Sony has announced a new social network for your web browser called My PlayStation, and this can be accessed at my.playstation.com. And basically what it is, it's a social network for PlayStation on your web browser where you can interact with your friends, send messages, and manage your profile. Now, it is pretty cool because if you go on there, it's pretty robust and it's really easy to use, and you can see everything you need to see from your profile and your friends right there. And it's something that on a web browser, if you don't want to send a message or you don't want to interact by going on your phone or going through your PlayStation, you can easily just log in right to my.playstation.com and do everything you need to do with your profile. So the rumors that we will be getting Burnout Paradise Remastered have come true. It will be making its way to the Xbox One, the PS4, and PC on March 16. Now, if you remember, the original Burnout Paradise came out in 2008 for the Xbox 360 and the PS3, and it was an open world racing game in the Burnout universe, and it took place in Paradise City, which is a fictional city in the game, and it was an extremely fun game with tons to do, and you could spend tons of hours in the game. So I'm extremely excited that they are releasing this remastered version, and I really hope it lives up to the hype, and it is just as fun now as it is when it came out back in 2008. So we finally got a release date on the big production Sonic movie that will be coming out. I mean, this movie, I feel like it's been talked about forever, but we really had no more information other than that they are making a movie. So we will be getting this Sonic movie on November 15th, 2019. So the executive producer of this film will be Tim Miller, and he is best known for directing Deadpool, and the director of the Sonic movie will be Jeff Fowler. So the original Mega Man Legacy Collections 1 and 2 will be making its way to the Nintendo Switch on May 22nd. You'll be getting it in one package. You can either get it digitally or physically, but keep in mind, if you do decide to buy it physically, it's $5 more, and you only get the first Legacy Collection on the cartridge. You still will have to download the second Legacy Collection. So that is kind of disappointing. And if you've taken a look at the box art for it, they have that really ugly Nintendo Switch extra download thing included on the box, and it really kills it. So it kind of really takes away from buying it physically. Now I have the Mega Man Legacy Collection for the PlayStation 4, and I have to say it was really well done. You have all the games in one package, and they did a really good job of taking it from the Nintendo Entertainment System and bringing it over to the current consoles. But if I were to pick it up for the Nintendo Switch, I honestly would probably get it digitally. I usually like to buy games physically, but the fact that you only get the first game on the cartridge and you still have to download that second game and you're paying $5 more, I don't see a point in getting the physical game. So Balloon World, the new Super Mario Odyssey downloadable game mode, is now available for the Nintendo Switch, and it is a game mode that was announced at Nintendo Direct a few weeks ago. And basically it's where you hide balloons and you go and you find balloons that other people have hidden, and you can explore all the different worlds in Super Mario Odyssey, and when you find a balloon you get points. So this mode is available now, and it can only be accessed after you've beaten the original game. Nintendo also released new costumes that can be worn in Super Mario Odyssey and 2 new screenshot filters. So for the last couple of years, EA has been at E3, but they haven't actually been at the LA Convention Center. They've been at their own place. Like last year they were in Hollywood, and it seems like this year again they will be staying in Hollywood. Now you can attend this event. It is free, but you still have to get tickets for it. And if you were to attend this event, you will get hands-on with the new Battlefield coming out this year and Anthem. So the sales numbers for January have come out, and the Nintendo Switch, again in terms of units sold, has topped the sales charts. It is the #1 selling console in January, but the PlayStation 4 has topped the charts in terms of dollar amount sold for the month of January. If you're a baseball fan and you've always wanted to know what it'd be like to participate in the Home Run Derby, well, you will be getting a VR Home Run Derby experience for the PSVR and the HTC Vive. So this will be coming out this spring, and I'm assuming it will come out when MLB The Show comes out as well, around that time. And MLB The Show is a great baseball game, whether you're a sports fan or a baseball fan or not. Just in terms of a video game, it is such a well-made game. In this VR Home Run Derby experience, you're going to be able to play in the Home Run Derby in 3 different stadiums to start, but they will be releasing further stadiums down the line. And the 3 stadiums you will start with are the Cleveland Indians stadiums, the Miami Marlins stadium, and the Washington National Stadium. So the DICE Awards were this week, and The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild stole the show, taking home 4 awards, taking home Game of the Year Award, Astounding Achievement in Game Direction, Astounding Achievement in Game Design, and Adventure Game of the Year. Now, other notable winners were Cuphead, who took home 3 awards, and Horizon Zero Dawn, who took home 2 awards. The March games with gold games have been announced, and on the Xbox One, you will receive Trials of the Blood Dragon, and this is like Trials that you received in last month with Trials Fusion, and it's a motocross game where you try to get through levels in a certain time period, and you're doing all these wacky and crazy jumps. You'll also be receiving Super Hot, which is a first-person shooter, and it's a different type of first-person shooter. You're set in a minimalistic environment, and time only moves forward once you start moving your character. For the Xbox 360, you will be receiving Brave the video game, and this is based off of the movie Brave. It's an action adventure third-person game. And Quantum Conundrum, which is a puzzle platforming game where you play as the 12-year-old nephew to the brilliant Professor Fitz Quadrangle. Now, there were only 2 real big game releases this week, and the first one being Metal Gear Survive. Now, Metal Gear Survive is an action adventure survival game, and it is developed by Konami, and it's in the Metal Gear universe. And I haven't heard anything really good about it. I've heard that they've kind of butchered the Metal Gear universe by making this. It's an online only game really, and I've heard that you actually have to pay an extra $10 for an additional save slot, which to me sounds absolutely crazy. But this game is available now if you're interested in checking it out to see what it's all about. Right now it sits at a 63 on Metacritic. So the next game is Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet. So Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet is an action RPG in the guise of a third-person shooter. You play in the Gun Gale Online universe in the Sword Art Online franchise, and you pretty much are going through these different areas and you're leveling up and you're getting new weapons and new gear, just like an RPG. And right now it sits at a 64 on Metacritic. So that's your news. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video, subscribe if you're new to this channel, and let me know in the comments below what you think about any of these stories that I talked about, and if you enjoy these news videos. I'll catch you in the next video.